Good morning, Bermuda. Today, I'll provide an update on the following topics: the ministry's public and parish meetings on the parish primary school proposal, the Learning First initiative, and the National School Counselors Week. For the past few weeks, the Ministry of Education has conducted public regarding the parish primary school proposal. The attendance for these virtual meetings has been steady and engaging. The lead facilitators are the Commissioner of Education, Ms. Kelmar Richards, and the Director of Academics, Dr. Llewellyn Simmons. To date, 124 people have either sent in proposals or joined the Zoom calls. 1,600 people have viewed the meetings via Facebook, and 200 people have viewed them via YouTube. Each presentation presents the proposal to the attendees and provides opportunities for question and answer sessions. As we engage in this open and transparent consultation process, it is critical for the public to be given ample opportunities to ask questions and offer suggestions. In addition to the meetings for the general public, a minimum of 2 meetings per parish that has more than one primary school will be conducted. The purpose of these parish meetings are to allow the specific parish communities to discuss the vision for the parish school proposal and how it affects their parish. Last night was the first meeting held with the parishes, and that was with the people of St. George's Parish. We'll be holding another session with St. George's Parish tomorrow. As a reminder, the ministry is proposing to have 10 high-quality and equitable primary schools. The proposal involves the change from 18 primary schools to 10, with 1 primary school per parish, with 2 in the parish of Pembroke. The proposal states that parish primary schools will serve as hubs for each community, with parents, surrounding neighborhoods and organizations rallying around schools, supporting educational programs, and creating healthy, authentic partnerships. The concept of community schools is growing around the world. Community schools represent a vehicle for aligning the assets of students, families, teachers, and the community around a common goal, which is to improve the success of our young people. Community schools purposefully integrate academic, health, and social services, youth and community development, and community engagement, drawing in school partners with resources to improve student and adult learning, strengthen families, and promote healthy communities. I encourage all residents, parents, students, teachers, business owners, seniors, clergy, in fact, all of Bermuda, to join us and have your say. We want to hear from you and give you the opportunity to ask questions and offer suggestions about the proposal. The meetings will provide valuable information about the work being undertaken in Bermuda to realize the vision that all students are prepared to lead personally and professionally, compete locally, and contribute globally. The meeting dates and times are listed on the www.moed.bm website. It is important for you to register officially, as that is the only way that you will get the Zoom logon information, as that information is unique to the participant. Meetings held on Mondays and Tuesdays will also be broadcast via YouTube and Facebook by CITV Bermuda. Now I wish to give an update on the Learning First program. The Learning First design teams are currently working in small project groups on 6 aspects of the public school system that require a national plan and approach. In Learning First, these core and national priorities are the curriculum, what students learn in and beyond school; pedagogy, what teaching and learning looks like; graduate outcomes, what students need to achieve and how they evidence learning; learning environments, where and when learning takes place; the education workforce, what supports teachers and principals need to bring about these changes; and design principles, the core values and vision that hold everything together. The Learning First design teams are using design techniques to develop their new plans and ideas for the public school system. One of these is prototyping. Prototyping involves testing concepts and ideas at an early stage to learn about how ideas may work in real life and how they need to change and improve to meet the diverse range of needs. Prototyping can take different forms depending on the idea to be tested. It may look like a role play of an experience, a model of a physical space, or even a game of scenarios. Learning First is looking for people across the island that may be interested in participating in prototyping activities over the coming months. Teachers, school leaders, parents, young people, community members, or business people of all ages and life experiences are welcome. To connect with Learning First, visit their website at www.learningfirstbda.com. I encourage all of Bermuda to sign up for their monthly newsletters and follow them on social media to get regular updates on their work. National School Counseling Week. This week, the school counselors are engaged in activities to mark National School Counselors Week. The theme of this year is All In for All Students. I wish to take this opportunity to thank our school counselors. The past year, counselors have gone above and beyond for our students, delivering groceries and technologies to home, checking on families through phone calls and Zoom, and being advocates for your students. Counselors understand and know more than most how fragile the human spirit can be. In their role as school counselors, many students and parents have had to rely on them to make sense of COVID-19 challenges and gain the strength to overcome these challenges. I want to thank you, school counselors, for being that pillar of strength. Thank you for being that listening ear, not only for what is said, but what is not. Thank you for extending yourself beyond the school setting and into the homes and hearts of our students. Thank you for your long hours, weekend and summer work. And finally, thank you for making the mental health and physical needs of our children a priority. Thank you for your care. I hope that my words of acknowledgement and appreciation are uplifting to your spirit and strengthen you to keep moving forward and upward. Thank you, Bermuda. And with that, we'll take some questions.
All right, members of the media, if you can please step up if you have any questions.
Good morning, Minister.
Good morning.
Just a couple of questions. You mentioned how many submissions there had been so
Yes.
far. Could I just ask if all or any of those submissions can be made public?
The submissions will be made public when the final report is done.
When the final report is done, do you mean after the consultative period?
Yes,
is finished?
as I've explained on numerous occasions to the public, and we explain in our Zoom meetings, this consultation is open and transparent, and all of the submissions taken will be used to form the basis of the final decisions, and a report on the final decision, which will outline all of the submissions, will be available for the public.
Do you believe that if those submissions were made available to the public prior to the end of the submission deadline, they might provide some information and influence people who are still undecided and trying to come up with their own ideas to submit as part of the consultation? Would it not make sense to allow the public to see those submissions before the deadline?
And I thank you for making that submission. As we talk about having an open and transparent consultative process, that is a suggestion that we could take back. And I encourage anyone who has suggestions like that to visit our submission form and submit that. That could be something that could be taken into account.
Okay, so perhaps I could follow up with you to ask you that question.
I would prefer if you submit your submissions just as everyone else would, because we don't want to we don't want to make this process any different from anyone else. And you are free to submit your suggestions via the email or via the submission form, just as any member of the public is, and those suggestions will be taken into account.
Okay. Has the Ministry Department had any direct contact with the schools that are facing closure under the proposals? Obviously nothing's set in stone yet, but there are 9 schools that could be closing. obviously a new build in Devonshire, which would bring it up to 10, but has the ministry had direct contact, whether it be with the principals or the PTAs or the parent councils of those 9 schools?
Our Zoom consultative processes has taken into account talking to the school leaders and talking to our educators and the particular persons in the general public, such as our parents, our parents, guardians, students. They are free to submit their proposals, and they're free to join into the Zoom conferences that we are having, because that is where the good conversations take place. And so we've reached out. We are, as I said, we're having conversations with each parish. We're having 2 of them per parish. It's 6 of them, so that's 12 meetings alone there. We're going to have 4 general meetings, and we've had numerous meetings prior to that with our stakeholders, such as the unions, such as our school leaders, and such. And so we're trying to leave no stone untouched. But again, that is a worthy suggestion that I would take back to the team.
I wasn't really making a suggestion. I was just asking whether you'd had direct contact with the principals and PTAs.
The answer to that is yes, we've had direct contact with our school leaders and with our educators, and we're having direct contact through our consultative process with everyone else.
But yeah, that's part of a meeting that's with the wider public. It's not one-on-one. We're going to meet with Heron Bay Principal. We're going to meet with West End Primary. It's kind of they're part of the pool of.
No, as I said, we don't want to prejudice this presentation, the Zoom and the consultative process that we're having, and so we're keeping it identical so everyone gets the same information, and so everyone is free to join. And we've seen some people who have joined multiple Zoom sessions because they listened in one and they come back and they want to add some more questions. They've gone thought about it. They've listened to what other people had to say, and they want to come and give some more suggestions. And so we welcome that.
But there was the creation of parent councils that this government introduced to make sure that there was a dialogue, a direct dialogue with the PTAs as well. I understand that you're meeting with them via the Zoom, but perhaps you could revisit, that idea that that the parent councils were created for that reason.
The parent council, just a slight correction. The parent councils was something that was introduced under the One Bermuda Alliance. You said under this government.
Okay,
it was introduced under the One Bermuda Alliance. And again, they are free to submit their proposals and to join into the Zoom consultative processes that we have. There's nothing stopping anyone from doing that.
Is there anything you could share with me? It's a little bit off topic from today, if you would oblige. But the Education Authority. Are you able to outline in any more detail than you have before how the setup of the Education Authority would differ from what is currently in existence? So in terms of the numbers of people that would be on the Education Authority and whether there's any crossover, like the people that are in the ministry now would be sitting on that Education Authority.
The Education Authority team is busy looking at what an Education Authority could look like, and I anticipate their report, and once that report is submitted, we'll be in a position to talk about what ideas they've come forth of how it should look, how it should be, what it should consist of, and how it could function moving forward.
So no decisions been made on that?
There's no decision, and decisions will be made with input from the general public as well. So when we're ready to start talking about that, you along with the rest of the general public will be very much aware of that.
Okay, appreciate your time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any other questions from the media? All right, thank you all for attending and have a great day.
All righty, thank you.